That time is finally here where we get to look at all of the new retiring LEGO sets this year. It is the beginning of 2024 right now, and we get a whole new refreshed list of upcoming retiring LEGO sets. And this is one of my favorite things because I'm really excited about looking through the sets that we are going to be losing this year, because as a LEGO investor, that means that these are the sets that I will be investing in before they retire. That means that when manufacturing ends, the values are going to start to go up. And so this big list that I'm about to show you here are the sets that I personally will be looking at when it comes to LEGO investing in 2024. And we have an incredible list this year with so many really great sets scheduled to retire. So without delaying any further, let's just jump straight in here and actually look at the retirement list for 2024. And real quick, if you want to download this straight to your device, you can get the link in the description down below. But jumping in to the top of this list here, we have LEGO architecture. We're going to go theme by theme. I'm going to have to go pretty quickly here because we've got an entire list of LEGO sets to cover in one video. So I'm not going to give a lot of commentary on my thoughts on each set and different things. I'll be doing that throughout the year as we make more videos here on the channel. But for today's video, I just want to give you the big list, and I'll make a couple of comments here and there. But we have architecture up first. 2 architecture sets scheduled to retire, which is an increase from 2023 where we only had 1 architecture set. The White House recently left the shelves from this theme, but this year we have the Taj Mahal and we have Singapore. I am glad to see another Skyline set leaving the shelves. If you're not aware, architecture is split into 2 sub-themes. You have the landmark sets, such as the Taj Mahal, that are kind of depicting important buildings and monuments. And then you have the Skyline sets, which are depicting the skyline of various cities around the world. And last year we didn't have a Skyline set retire. This year we do. We have Singapore scheduled to retire. And actually, real quick, before we go further, I do want to say that this list is subject to change. Everything that you see here is the current information that we have at the beginning of 2024. Typically, throughout the year, LEGO Group do make adjustments and changes. Some of these sets will get pushed out into 2025, and then other sets that are not on this list today will be brought forward and will actually end up getting scheduled to be retired this year. And the way we compile this list is I look at different sources. I have a handful of different sources that I use for information that I trust, that I've built up trust with over the years, and I look at the various different sources and compare them against each other, and then I choose which ones seem like they're the most likely for sharing here on this channel. However, I do want to say that this information does not come directly from the LEGO Group. So although I have seen that these online lists can be pretty accurate over time, I just want to make sure that everyone's aware that this is subject to change. So architecture, we have Singapore leaving the shelves this year and the Taj Mahal. Singapore is one of the more colorful architecture skyline sets, and that is a theme that is packed with collectability, so I'll be looking at that set a little closer. I haven't really investigated any of the sets on this list yet, really, because again, we're just at the start of 2024 now, and throughout the year I will be researching these sets. I'll be looking at supply and demand of the sets, how big are the sales that these sets go on, and all of that sort of stuff before making my actual investment decisions. So next up, we have LEGO art. This is the second theme we're looking at here, and we have 2 LEGO art sets retiring in 2024. We have the Amazing Spider-Man, and then we have the modern art set as well. Whenever we have these art sets based on superheroes, I do get a little more interested. I thought the Jim Lee one that retired last year was really cool because you can kind of create the different characters from the superhero universe or the Batman universe. And this Amazing Spider-Man, I also think, has a lot going for it. I'm a fan. Again, I haven't researched the numbers in great detail, but that is the one of these 2 that I'm more interested in. Next up, we have Avatar. So this is one of the newer themes in the world of LEGO, and Avatar is losing 5 sets this year. Now, it will be interesting to watch the recently retired Avatar sets, because the first wave of Avatar retirements happened in 2023, and now that we're in 2024, we get to watch those prices and see if they go up and how well that set or that theme does as an investment. But the second wave of retirement is happening this year in 2024 with these 5 sets. So we have Jake and Neytiri's first Banshee flight, which, by the way, is my favorite scene from the first 2 Avatar movies. When Jake first gets his Banshee, it's just an amazing scene. We have the Turo Mactau and Tree of Souls. We have Ilu Discovery, Skimwing Adventure, and then the Payakan and Crabsuit set. So 5 different Avatar sets retiring in 2024. Next up, we have Batman with 7 different sets retiring, including another one of these chase sets. There's always a Batman chase set. Batman vs. the Joker chase. The Batmobile Tumbler, the expensive Tumbler set, retiring in 2024. Then we have Shadowbox, we have Pursuit, Batman vs. the Joker 4+ version. And then we have Batwing, Batman Batman vs. the Joker, all retiring in 2024. Brickheads is a smaller list this year than what we've seen in past years, with the Tusken Raider, and then we have a handful of these Harry Potter double packs retiring, including Harry Potter and Cho Chang, Draco Malfoy and Cedric Diggory, Kingsley and Nymphadora. So 3 different Harry Potter double pack Brickhead sets retiring in 2024. Then we also have some of the Disney double packs with Cruella and Maleficent. We have Moana and Merida. We also have a Sonic Brickhead set here retiring, and also Tails as well. We have the Gandalf, the Grey and Balrog, and Frodo and Gollum Lord of the Rings, and also the Aragorn and Arwen Lord of the Rings sets. So the Lord of the Rings Brickhead sets are coming to an end in 2024, according to this information at least, in addition to a handful of the Harry Potter ones and Disney ones, and also the Sonic Brickhead sets. Now, some of these Brickheads that are based on licenses can be super collectible, and we've seen this with some of the Harry Potter sets. We've seen it with some of the Star Wars Brickhead sets in the past. One of the best examples of this is the Star Wars Brickhead sets, where we've seen some incredible things happen in terms of the price going up over time. So some of these are likely to do very, very well. We also have the Tusken Raider that is retiring this year. So, you know, some of these should be on your watch list if you'd like to invest in lower priced Lego sets. And next up we have the City theme. And here we're not going to go into much detail because we've got a lot of different sets here. How many do we have in total? We have 37 Lego City sets retiring in 2024. And a lot of this stuff is kind of what you would expect to see in the City lineup. It is usually the theme that has the most Lego sets retiring. But we have things like the car wash, we have the ice cream shop, we have the street skate park, the apartment building, the police station chase and police training academy, fire station and fire engine. There's always something around fire stations, police stations retiring in Lego City. A lot of different things going on here. We also have some of the lower priced kind of car sets and vehicle sets for City that are retiring, which can do quite well as an investment because there's a lot of runway for the price to grow. And if you can get a set for $7, then I've done quite well on some of those lower priced City vehicles in the past. So a lot going on in Lego City. It is a theme that a lot of Lego investors actually ignore. It is a theme that can do okay as an investment if you can get great prices on the sets. And next up we have Lego Classic here with a lot of the brick boxes, medium creative brick box, large creative brick box, creative monsters, neon fun, pastel fun. We also have Lego Creator here with a lot of kind of different stuff going on. So we have the medieval castle, deep sea creatures, fantasy forest creatures, white rabbit, vintage motorcycle, beach camper van, main street, birdhouse, New York postcard. We have the various different postcard sets, the New York and Australia and Beijing postcard sets. So a lot going on in Lego Creator as well. And then we are into Disney. So looking down through Disney, we have 26 different sets retiring in Disney in 2024. We have Little Mermaid's Storybook. Now, some of these storybook type sets have done well as investments over the years. Peter Pan and Wendy's Storybook. We have a handful of polybags here. We have Ultimate Adventure Castle, Cinderella and Prince Charming's Castle, Moana Wayfinding Boat, Aurora's Castle, Twirling Rapunzel, Enchanted Treehouse, Princess Enchanted Journey, Anna and Elsa's Magical Carousel, Disney Princess Creative Castles, 100 Years of Disney Animation Icons, Asha in the City of Rosas, King Magnifico's Castle, The Little Mermaid Royal Clamshell, Disney Duos, Villain Icons, Ariel's Treasure Chest, Asha's Cottage, Peter Pan and Wendy's Flight Over London, Elsa's Frozen Treat, Maribel's Photo Frame and Jewelry Box, and Rapunzel's Tower, and the Snuggly Duckling. I'm not going to do that again for the other things. I'm not going to read every set because it's a lot. But that is all of the Disney sets that are retiring. And the thing with Disney as an investment is this theme can do very well, but there's a couple of things. Firstly, you need to be able to get it at a great price. Secondly, you got to avoid re-releases because some of the sets do tend to get re-released a lot. We had the Beauty and the Beast castle released something like 3-4 times in the space of about 7 years. Same thing happens with Elsa's castles and different things. So you got to look for sets that are maybe on the outskirts of the theme and not like the most important part of the theme, because those sets are more likely to get re-released. And so those are the kind of things that I look for when I'm looking for Disney, and also again getting great prices and getting great offers on those Disney sets. So moving on from Disney, and the next theme that we are going to look at here is the Dreams theme. And here we have 16 different sets retiring from the Dreams theme. Now this is the first wave of retirement for Dreams because of course this is a new theme. It was released in 2023 and we have a handful of different sets retiring here. Now I haven't researched Dreams in a whole lot of detail yet since it first got released, and I gave some first reactions on this theme, mostly because they haven't been retiring yet. But now that this theme is retiring this year, I will start to look at these sets with a little more kind of seriousness, look at the sales, how have they been doing and different things. Now, from what I've heard so far, there are a lot of great things about the Dreams theme, but at the same time, has it taken off? We will see. And I think I'm really interested in watching how these sets perform as investments after this year, because I love watching those early couple of years of a new theme. Hidden Side, for example, I took the plunge on investing in Hidden Side before it first retired, and I did really, really well with some of those investments. But will Dreams be the same? We shall see. Next up, we have Duplo here, and we have a handful of Duplo sets. Down here, we have 27 total Duplo sets. And again, this is another theme that a lot of people ignore, but has done very well for me in the past in terms of investing. It can do very well. You just need to look for certain things. I like looking for animals in Duplo. I like looking for licensed Duplo sets, such as Toy Story and different things like that. And some of these sets I feel like are going to do quite well. I also really like trains. So we have things like the Steam Train, Cargo Train, and Train Track sets. We also have the Wild Animals of Africa. The Wild Animals of Asia set just retired at the end of 2023, so we can watch that set in terms of how it performs as an example before investing in the Wild Animals of Africa. And then we also have the Wild Animals of the World retiring in 2024 as well. And then we do have a couple of those licensed Duplo sets, including Spider-Man's House, Lightning McQueen, and Mater's Car Wash Fun. This is the kind of thing that kids, young kids, always go for. So next up we have Lego Friends, and this will be an interesting year for Lego Friends because last year Lego Friends went through a bit of an overhaul. We have 42 different sets that are retiring here in 2024. Last year, Lego Friends went through a change where the story behind a lot of the sets kind of changed. It advanced a couple of years, and some of the old characters that used to be young are now kind of older. And so we're going to have some retirement of those newer sets this year. And I'm interested to see how that goes for the Friends theme and what happens here. This, again, is a theme that a lot of people snooze on in the Lego investing world, but it actually can have some really big winners in here. I have had some good Friends investments in the past. This year, I think I will be looking closer at a handful of different sets in this theme. We also have a few of them retiring in July this year, so there's 3 Lego Friends sets right here retiring in July, and the rest of them retiring in December. And in this theme, we have a handful of different sets that are a little more interesting than some of the others. For example, the Dog Rescue Center, we have the Heart Lake Downtown Diner, Autumn's House, Heart Lake International School. By the way, the Lego Friends house sets are kind of iconic and have done well as investments over time. I did very well with the Stephanie's House back in the day. Heart Lake International School, we have Sea Rescue Boat, we have Sea Rescue Center. We have had some similar stuff in terms of rescue boats, rescue centers in the past, so we can look at those in terms of comparisons and what we can expect to happen with some of these. We have some of the smaller sets such as Dog Rescue Bike, Autumn Stable, Riding School, Heart Lake City Community Kitchen. Then we have the Holiday Ski Slope Cafe, we have the Botanical Garden, Heart Lake City Bus, just a lot of different stuff going on here in the Lego Friends theme this year. This will be definitely an interesting theme in 2024. Next up we have Gabby's Dollhouse. So this is another new theme released in 2023. We have the first wave of retirement happening with 3 different sets here. Bakey with Cakey Fun, Gabby and Meerkat's Ship and Spa, and Katy Fairy's Garden Party, all retiring in 2024. Moving into the Harry Potter theme, and we have 15 different sets in Harry Potter retiring this year. Now, we have a range of different stuff going on here. So we have some Hogwarts-based sets, such as the Hogwarts Astronomy Tower, has been around for quite a while, so it's about time that we lose that one. Then we have Hogsmeade Village Visit, Chamber of Secrets, Dumbledore's Office. These are all Hogwarts kind of scenes or parts of the Hogwarts castle. We have the expensive Hogwarts Express retiring this year, the collector's edition retiring in 2024. The Shrieking Shack is retiring this year. Room of Requirement, Expecto Patronum, Battle of Hogwarts, Quidditch Trunk, Triwizard Tournament, Diagon Alley, Hogwarts Express, and Hogsmeade Station. So it is actually both of the Hogwarts Expresses that we're going to be losing in 2024 until the next one gets released, because there's been so many of these. Flying Fort Anglia and Forbidden Forest Magical Creatures. So a lot of different retiring sets in Harry Potter. And this, again, is another theme that a lot of Lego investors are snoozing on. I've done very well with Harry Potter sets over the years. Will I be investing in any of these this year? Absolutely. Which ones are they? I don't know yet, because I'm going to research every single one of them and add certain ones to my hit list. Next up, we have the Lego Icons sets. Now, in Icons, we have 9 different sets retiring this year, and this is some of the more expensive Lego sets, of course. We have the Ghostbusters Ecto 1. Now this is exciting because I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the Ecto 1 in terms of value over time on this set. NASA Space Shuttle Discovery, the Loop Coaster, so that's another roller coaster. We lost a roller coaster a couple of years ago. It did reasonably well as an investment. I did expect it to do a little better, but I'm interested to see what happens with the Loop Coaster. We have the Chevrolet Camaro retiring this year, the Atari 2600. The Holiday Main Street is the Winter Village set that's retiring this year. El Dorado Fortress, the Corvette, and the Icons of Play. So this is all of the Lego Icon sets that are currently scheduled to retire in 2024. So I think it's a pretty good lineup, and I'm interested in some of these sets. We're not losing any of the extremely large sets. So we just lost the Coliseum last year, and it was an incredible investment. It already multiplied in value. I'm interested what's going to happen with some of the other large sets, such as the Eiffel Tower or the Titanic, but neither of them are leaving the shelves this year. So that is Lego Icons. Now Ideas is up next, and with Ideas, we have 7 different sets that are retiring, including the Treehouse. Treehouse is finally leaving the shelves. It has been on the shelves for way too long. We have the Typewriter. We have the first Sonic set to retire. That is the Green Hill Zone. We have the Globe. We have the Jazz Quartet. We have the BTS set. And then we have Tales of the Space Age. All of those sets retiring in the Lego Ideas theme in 2024. Next up, we have a couple of Indiana Jones sets. So this is Fighter Plane Chase, Escape from the Lost Tomb, and Temple of the Golden Idol, all retiring in 2024. And then we have a handful of Jurassic World sets here with 6 different sets retiring, including Blue and Beta Velociraptor Capture, which I think is an interesting set. Dilophosaurus, Ambush, Triceratops Research, a handful of different stuff going on for Jurassic World this year. Super Mario is up next with 15 different sets retiring. And here we have a handful of retirements in July as well, with 9 of them retiring in July, including Rambi the Rhino, Peach's Garden Balloon Ride, Princess Peach's Castle Adventures with Peach, a handful of different sets retiring in July, and then the rest of them retiring in December. So that is another 6 different sets. Panic at Mario's House, Nintendo Entertainment System. Interesting to watch that set and what's going to happen with the Nintendo Entertainment System kind of buildable console. Donkey Kong's Treehouse, Dry Bowser's Castle, Battle Larry and Morton's Airship, Nabbit at Toad's Shop for Lego Mario. Now we have Marvel here with 25 different sets, and once again, it's a lot. I'm not going to read them all. We're going to go through this pretty quickly, but we have a handful of different sets going on here. The Hulkbuster is retiring this year. You could have got a great price on that last year. This set is frequently, very, very heavily discounted. I Am Groot, Spider-Man figure. We have Hulk Mech Armor. We have Miles Morales versus Morbius. Ghost Rider Mech and Bike. We have the Avengers Quinjet. We have Star-Lord's helmet retiring this year, which may go nicely next to an Iron Man helmet. We have Baby Rocket's ship going on here. We have Captain America construction figure, Wolverine construction figure, and Ant-Man construction figure. We have Captain America's shield retiring this year. So that was released in 2023. That's a relatively short shelf life for Captain America's shield, and nicely collectible with Thor's hammer, which just retired at the end of 2023 and is already doing very well as an investment. It is going up in price very, very quickly. Iron Man Hulkbuster versus Thanos Endgame Final Battle. A lot of different sets for Marvel. And then we have Minecraft with 16 different sets here, including sets like the Mushroom House and the Skeleton Jungle, the End Arena. We have the Sword Outpost. We have the Deep Dark Battle. We have the Pumpkin Farm, Animal Sanctuary. Again, a lot of different stuff going on in Minecraft. Now, Minecraft apparently is getting a movie. This has been confirmed, and there are some huge actors that have been tied to it. If this does go ahead, which I believe it is, then, there's a good chance that demand for Minecraft is going to have a nice bump. I think the movie is not coming out in 2024. It'll be 2025 at least. However, these retiring sets will be going up in value in 2025 when that movie releases, if it does come in 2025. So the 2024 retirement list for Minecraft are the ones that anybody who wants to jump in on that should be looking at. So whether or not that movie really impacts demand for Minecraft will remain to be seen, but these are the sets that we need to be looking at if you want to do that. Now, Monkey Kid, we have 10 retiring sets, including City of Lanterns. We have Maze Dragon Jet. We have the Team Hideout, the Cloud Airship. We have the Mighty Azure Lion. We have Dragon of the East Palace and Maze Dragon Mech. In Ninjago, we have a lot of different sets for Ninjago with 24 Ninjago sets. All of them retiring in December. No retiring sets in July for Ninjago this year. We have Ninjago City Gardens finally retiring. This is interesting because some of these previous large Ninjago City sets have just done really, really well as investments. And whether the same holds true for Gardens remains to be seen. But I definitely will be watching this one. I think it's interesting for sure. We have a couple of the Evo sets here with Colt, Earth Dragon, Mech Rider, Lightning Jet. We have Jay's Titan Mech. I think that's a great set. Has been around for a while, but I think it's kind of an iconic set in the theme. We have a couple of the 4+ sets, including Lloyd's Ninja Street Bike, Kai and Raz's Car and Bike Battle. We have a couple of mech sets, including the Lloyd and Aaron's Ninja Team Mech and Elemental Dragon versus Empress Mech. And we also have a Heatwave Transforming Lava Dragon and Ninjago Dragons in the past done pretty well as investments. Not always, but they can do quite well. So Sonic, and here is the other Sonic sets that are retiring. We saw one in the Lego Ideas theme, that is the Green Hill Zone, but we also have the new Lego Sonic sets are losing their first wave of sets, and we have 6 different retirements happening in 2024. Kiki's Coconut Attack Polybag, we have Sonic Speed Sphere Challenge, Tails Workshop and Tornado Plane, Amy's Animal Rescue Island, Sonic vs. Dr. Eggman's Death Egg Robot, and then the Loop Challenge as well. Now we're looking at Speed Champions, and Speed Champions, once again, we have a long list this year. So in 2023, we had a pretty long list of Speed Champions, and they've just been releasing a lot of great stuff in the last couple of years. In 2024, we have 9 sets retiring, all of them in December, including the 1970 Ferrari 512. We had the Lotus Evija, which was supposed to retire in 2023, but got pushed out into 2024. That is scheduled to retire now. We have the Lamborghini, we have the Mercedes double pack, we have the Ferrari 812, the Pagani Utopia, we have the Porsche 963, we have the Too Fast, Too Furious Nissan Skyline. So that, of course, is the second one of the Fast and Furious branded Speed Champions cars to retire. If you want to watch a previous one, you could look at the Dom's Charger that just retired at the end of 2023. And then we have the McLaren double pack as well. So a handful of Speed Champion sets retiring this year. Will be interesting to watch what is going to happen with some of these sets. Next up, we have Star Wars. And Star Wars, once again, a lot of sets here. 30 different sets, including Millennium Falcon. Now, this is still not the expensive UCS $800 Millennium Falcon. This is one of the more kind of reasonably priced ones. We have the Mos Eisley Cantina, and I'm excited about this retirement. You know, it's one of those iconic scenes or areas from the original trilogy of Star Wars, and I'm so curious to see how this one does as an investment over time, because in the past where we've had something similar with a big scene with a lot of minifigures and a big kind of iconic scene that was an expensive set, and they did not recreate it for years, it did pretty well as a retirement. And the one I'm thinking about that comes to mind is the Ewok Village. And I'm curious whether Mos Eisley Cantina does similar to the Ewok Village in terms of investment over time. We have the Darth Vader's helmet. Now again, the helmet series has been interesting for investing over the last couple of years. Darth Vader's helmet will likely be very, very highly supplied. I think a lot of investors are going to be buying this, and so the supply is going to be high. Will the demand be high enough to make it a good investment? Remains to be seen. I'll be looking at it closer this year. We have the R2-D2 buildable. I'm excited about that one as well, because the past R2-D2 that retired did quite well as an investment. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter, Luke Skywalker's Landspeeder, Boba Fett's Starship Microfighter, which, by the way, I made a video about microfighters. Go check it out, because these things are insane as investments. 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack. The previous version of the 501st did really well. Then we have more helmets with the Clone Commander Cody and Princess Leia helmets, both retiring this year. We have more dioramas retiring this year with the Emperor's Throne Room and Endor Speed Chase. We have the Coruscant Guard Gunship. We have the Ghost and Phantom 2 retiring. We have another battle pack here with Ahsoka's Clone Trooper battle pack. We have Yoda's Jedi Starfighter, Mandalorian N1 Starfighter Microfighter, another microfighter retiring this year. We have a handful of mechs retiring this year, including Darth Vader, Boba Fett, and Stormtrooper mechs. And then we have the Chewbacca set also retiring this year, which I'm not surprised that is not having a long shelf life. It just released in 2023. And then looking at Lego Technic here, we have 13 different sets retiring in 2024, including the Porsche 911 RSR finally leaving the shelves. I liquidated all of my units of this. I made a video last year about that because it was just delayed. It was supposed to retire about 4 years ago, and finally it is leaving the shelves. Will I invest in it again? Probably not, because I just feel ruffled up by that. But should you invest in it? You know, it's worth looking at. I think it's a great set. The extended shelf life on this doesn't concern me, because typically when a shelf life gets extended, it means demand is super high. And on this set, I definitely think demand is high. It goes so nicely with some of the other large supercar Technic sets. And it's one of the iconic ones. So it's worth looking at the Porsche 911. We have the John Deere tractor, we have the Ford Mustang Shelby, we have the dump truck Snow Groomer, Monster Jam Dragon, the Monster Jam Monster, we have the Firecraft Aircraft, NASCAR Chevrolet Camaro, the Batman Batcycle, and then lastly we have the Bugatti. So a handful of Technic sets, and overall 394 minus the header row, so 393 sets retiring this year in Lego, and that includes July retirements and December retirements. Again, I need to look at a lot more of these sets in greater detail. I will be doing that throughout the year. I'll be bringing you great content about these sets as we talk about them, so make sure you hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. And if you want to look up this information, you can find it in a handful of different places. So there's some websites that I recommend. Typically Brick Fanatics and Stone Wars are two websites that I really like, that I've over the years I've kind of noticed that their quality is reasonably good when it comes to tracking retirement dates. But if you just want to download this one that I'm using right here, because I like to have it on my device, I like to be able to filter for different themes and add kind of information in the other columns and different things. If you want to download this one, I will leave the link for that in the description down below. So thank you so much for being here. 2024 is our year for excellent retirement lists, and this is the year to lift off and be free.